Jeremiah Burroughs, 1600 to 1646. Gem of Contentment. As the room filled with townsmen, Jeremiah Burroughs scanned the faces of the 6 officials of Bury St. Edmunds in England. His financial welfare was in their hands. The congregation had supported him for some time, but laws had changed, and now the city was responsible. Some ministers in England were not being treated fairly. Were these council men still upset he had preached against the sins of one of their council members? The room quieted, and Burroughs began speaking. I called this parish meeting because I have been offered another position, but I wanted to speak to you men before I give my answer. He took a deep breath. As you know, the people of the congregation have been paying me, as well as my fellow minister, Mr. White. Now it has been determined that the city will pay our wages, and the amount has been limited to only £100 for the parish, with no additional contributions from individuals. The municipal men nodded. If only they would agree to everything, he said. He was afraid they'd try to force him out by giving Mr. White the whole amount. A nearby village recently had given the entire wage to only one of the 2 ministers. Even if one shared fairly with the other, £50 was barely enough to live on. Burroughs continued, I am willing to refuse the offer of the other position and stay with you here at Bury. All I ask is for your promise that I might have the same wage as the other minister who does the same amount of work. The officials shuffled their feet and mumbled excuses about a wage increase not being given yet. But promise that when it does happen, Burroughs said, I may have my means as well as the other shall have his. One of the aldermen said, Perhaps the sole power will not be ours. Burroughs persisted, Promise that if you shall have any power, you will use it for this end. Remember your sermon, one official shouted, shaking his fist at him. Another spoke up, We will wait to see what the rest of the parish desires. We must not see our chief governor abused, a third alderman added. A fourth said they should take appropriate action for the sermon he'd preached. All 6 officials sided against Burroughs. Only one of the 24 other townsmen spoke in his favour. The meeting broke up, and Burroughs walked home. What was God's will for him? Were financial considerations a good reason to leave his ministry in Bury? Should he give it up just because some men wanted to get rid of him? It seemed he could accomplish more for the Lord in this large congregation than in a smaller church. And if he left, who would care for the souls of the people?